Okay, I want you to picture something for a second. It's early morning.
Uh-huh.
You're in the bathroom. The lighting is maybe a little harsh. You haven't had coffee yet. And you look yourself, I mean, really look yourself right in the eyes in the mirror. And you say out loud, I love you, darling. I really, really love you.
It makes your skin crawl just thinking about it, doesn't it? A little bit.
Oh, completely. It feels
Oh,
it feels ridiculous. Maybe even a little unhinged, like who actually does that?
right.
But that feeling, that specific discomfort, that's exactly where we're starting today. We're looking at a program designed to make that moment not just okay,
Mm.
but like essential.
It's the deep end of the pool for sure. We are unpacking the finale day 21 and the big afterward section of the book, The Heart of Mirror Work.
Yeah.
And the whole premise might sound, a little soft, just love yourself, but the source material is arguing this is a huge psychological shift.
And we're not just talking about a little confidence boost. The claims here are massive. The author isn't saying, do this and you'll feel a bit nicer. This is positioned as a legitimate cure-all.
The cure-all for everything, and they mean everything.
Finances, relationships, your job, your health. I mean, it's a bold claim.
It is.
So our mission for this deep dive is to figure out, how does that logic actually work? How does staring in a mirror and talking to yourself fix your bank account?
Or a broken relationship, yeah.
Exactly. We're going to break down these 12 ways to love yourself
Mhm.
the author gives and just see if we can connect the dots.
Well, I think it really comes down to moving from an inner critic to an inner cheerleader. And honestly, if you've ever had that harsh inner critic living in your head,
Oh, yeah.
that just silencing that voice would be worth it, regardless of anything else.
So let's get into the philosophy first. Because for a lot of people, the jump from I love myself to I got a promotion, it feels like there's a step missing.
It feels like magical thinking.
Right. But the book makes this huge promise. Loving yourself can heal every problem.
It is a sweeping statement, but when you dig into it, the way the author connects the dots is very specific. It's less magic, more like physics.
Physics. How so?
The argument is we are constantly projecting energy, and if you love yourself, you're projecting worthiness and safety and openness, and so life just gets better.
So it's a ripple effect. It starts inside and changes what happens outside.
Exactly. I mean, think about it. When you feel good about yourself, you treat people differently, you have better boundaries, you don't put up with bad behavior, so negative relationships just sort of fall away.
And you walk into a job interview with confidence, not
Y-
desperation.
You're more likely to get the job. The text literally says negative relationships will dissolve and new ones will appear. It's almost framed like.
Magnetism.
The text actually uses the phrase magnet for miracles, but again, it's not a spell. It's about what the mirror work forces you to do. All through this 21-day journey, you haven't just been staring at yourself. You've been examining your self-talk, quieting that critic, and forgiving past hurts. You've been cleaning house, basically.
I love the metaphor it uses. It calls self-love a storehouse of treasure inside you.
Mm.
It implies the value isn't something you have to go out and get. It's already there.
Mm.
You lost the key.
And unlocking it means releasing all those old fears and negative thought patterns. And if you think about it, if you're carrying all that around, criticizing yourself all day, you're exhausted.
You have no bandwidth left.
None. You're not projecting the kind of energy that gets the dream job because you're too busy fighting a war inside your own head.
That's the aha moment for me.
Yeah.
It's not that the mirror prints money.
Yeah.
It's that a person who believes I am worth loving just operates differently in the world. They stop self-sabotaging.
Precisely. They get out of their own way. Which brings us to this paradox of completion in the day 21 text.
Well, it's the finale. Day 21, you've done the course.
Yeah.
You're done. But the first thing the author says is, your mirror work has only just begun.
Which I think gives it a lot of credibility.
Oh,
It's
yeah.
admitting that self-love isn't a diploma you hang on the wall.
Right.
It's a daily practice, like brushing your teeth. You don't do it once and say, well, that's sorted for life.
The source is really explicit about it. It warns you, you will still hit bumps. You'll have days where you spill coffee on your shirt and your brain goes right back to, you idiot, you always mess up.
But now you have the tools to intercept that thought. You can pick yourself up, look in the mirror, and remind yourself you are worth loving, even on a bad day. That resilience, that's the real treasure.
So let's talk about the celebration itself on day 21.
Mm-hmm.
It's not just a quiet little nod. It's a full-on party in the bathroom.
It's physical. The instruction is to go to the mirror, raise your arms, and give yourself a big cheer.
I just love that visual. Standing there, maybe in your pajamas with your arms up like you just won a marathon.
Well, in a way you have. You've survived your own mind for 21 days. That's harder than a marathon for a lot of us.
True.
And the affirmation is, you did it. I am so proud of you. You can do anything you set your mind to.
And then there's a gratitude part. But you're thanking yourself. It says to say, thank you for hanging in there. Thank you for being open to learning something new.
That phrase, thank you for hanging in there, saying that to your own reflection, wow. It acknowledges the struggle. It validates the persistence. You're treating yourself with the same grace you'd give a friend.
It's surprisingly touching. We always wait for other people to say, good job. This just says, don't wait. Give it to yourself.
And then after the cheering, you do the paperwork, the
Yeah.
journaling.
Right, and you list your progress, but also, and I think this is crucial, you write down problem areas where you could use more work.
Yes. It's not toxic positivity. It's not pretending you're perfect. It's balanced. You celebrate, but you're also honest about what's next.
And the final instruction for the day, go play with your inner child.
Which is just a lovely way of saying, go have some fun. Because
Yeah.
if this new relationship with yourself isn't enjoyable, you're not going to stick with it.
Exactly. Which brings us to the afterword. It's basically a maintenance manual titled 12 Ways You Can Love Yourself Now.
I think this list is the most actionable part of the whole book. It turns love yourself from a vague idea into actual things you can do.
So I want to dig into these. We've kind of grouped them. The first theme is, I guess I'd call it mental hygiene.
And the first rule in that list, and it might be the hardest one, is stop all criticism.
All of it.
All of it. The author just flat out says criticism never changes a thing.
That's a strong take. I think most of us believe we need that inner drill sergeant to get off the couch.
We think shame is a motivator. But the text says it just locks us into the patterns we're trying to change. It says approval causes positive change. I mean, do you work better when your boss is yelling at you or when they appreciate you?
Point taken. Okay, that connects to another one. Don't scare yourself.
Oh, this one's intense. The text calls it terrorizing yourself with your thoughts.
Which is what everyone does at 3 a.m., right?
What
You
do
lie
you-
awake creating these horror movies about the future.
It's a dreadful way to live, as the source puts it. And the technique it offers is interesting. Find a mental image that gives you pleasure. A sunset, a vacation, whatever.
And just switch to it.
Instantly. You don't fight the scary thought. You just change the channel. You say, nope, not watching the horror movie tonight. I'm watching the sunset.
And that fits with be kind to your mind. The book defines self-hatred as just hating your own thoughts.
Which is such a great reframe. You're not a hateful person. You just have hateful thoughts sometimes. The advice is to gently change the thought, not hate yourself for having it.
Okay, that leads right into the next theme, which is emotional softness. This is forgiveness and praise.
Right. Rule number 2 is forgive yourself. And the logic is so compassionate. It says you did the best you could at the time with the knowledge that you had.
Oh, that's such a relief to hear. Because we judge our past selves with today's knowledge. We look back at something from 5 years ago and think, how could I have been so stupid?
But you didn't know then what you know now. You were running on different software. So you let it go. It served its purpose.
And once you clear that space, you fill it with praise. Rule number 6.
Praise yourself. It says praise builds up the spirit. And to praise every little thing, not just the big wins.
So you got out of bed, praise. You made coffee, praise.
Exactly. It sounds silly, but you're literally retraining your brain to look for the good in you instead of the bad. And that's where be gentle, kind, and patient comes in. Treat yourself like someone you actually love.
That's the test, isn't it? Would you say this to your best friend? If not, why are you saying it to yourself?
It's about closing that gap.
Okay, now this next one. This one really made me stop. It's about how we relate to our own flaws. Rule number 8 is be loving to your negatives.
This is so nuanced and important. We usually want to just destroy our bad habits.
Let's cut them out like a tumor.
Right. But the source says acknowledge that you created them to fulfill a need.
That's fascinating. So my procrastination,
Right.
it wasn't just a flaw. It was a solution to something.
Maybe. Maybe procrastinating protected you from the fear of failure. It fulfilled a need. The goal isn't to hate the mechanism. It's to find a new, positive way to fulfill that need for safety, and then lovingly release the old pattern.
I like that. It's less of an exorcism and more of a retirement party for your bad habits.
That's a great way to put it. It's respectful to your own psyche. You're not broken. You just have outdated strategies.
Let's move to the physical world. The next theme is action and body.
So this is about taking care of your body, but not in a punishing way. The body is a temple. And it asks you to find exercise that you enjoy.
There's that word again, enjoy. We think exercise has to be suffering to count.
But if you hate it, you won't do it. And then there's rule number 7, support yourself.
This is huge. The text says it's a sign of strength to ask for help when you need it.
Which goes against that whole lone wolf idea, reaching out to friends, letting people help you. That's an act of self-love. You're telling yourself, I am worth being helped.
And then rule 10, have fun.
Smile, laugh, rejoice. The text says to bring things you loved as a child into your adult life. Just be playful.
I think we all need that permission. Okay, and finally, there's this element of urgency. Rule 11 is just love yourself now.
This is the anti-procrastination rule. We're always waiting. I'll love myself when I lose the weight, when I get the job.
It's a trap because you just move the goalposts.
Exactly. And the source argues the love has to come first. You have to love the person in the mirror today, flaws and all, to get where you want to go. The dissatisfaction won't get you there. The love will.
Do it now. It's so direct.
It is. And then Rule 12 just wraps it all up. Do your mirror work. It brings us right back to the core practice.
So we've got the individual work down, but then the source material takes this really surprising turn. It zooms way out. It stops being about me and starts being about us.
It moves to the concept of the harmonious whole.
Yeah, talk about that, because self-help can sometimes feel a little narcissistic.
Right, but the text pushes back on that. It says we're all part of a global community trying to make the world better. And by working on yourself, you're contributing to this divine blending of energies.
So my self-love isn't selfish. It's a contribution to the grid.
Precisely. It's safe for us to love ourselves so that we may benefit the whole.
Yeah.
If you're healed, you help heal those around you just by being
Yeah.
present.
Mm.
And the meditation it provides, a world that is safe, it really pushes this boundary.
That meditation was challenging for me, honestly. It asks you to share love with everyone. And it starts easy. People you like, people who are suffering.
But then it gets harder. It starts with the homeless, the angry, the frightened, and then it goes even further. It asks us to hold in our hearts those who are expressing so-called evil.
Yeah, that's the one. So-called evil. That is a big ask.
Why? The logic is fascinating, and it's totally consistent with the rest of it. The text says, let's take them into our hearts too, so that from a feeling of safety, they can begin to recognize who they really are.
Oh, wow. So the idea is that destructive behavior comes from a lack of safety.
And from being disconnected from that inner treasure. If we energetically hold them in a space of safety and love, we create the conditions for them to change. Instead of fighting darkness with more darkness, you flood it with light.
It says, see peace breaking out all over the planet.
And it links that global peace directly to your personal mirror work. It says, know that you are contributing to that peace right now. It empowers you. Your internal state matters. When you stop fighting yourself, you add a little bit of peace to the world.
It's a huge responsibility, but it's also incredibly empowering.
It connects the micro to the macro. You look in the mirror, you heal yourself, and eventually the world changes.
It's a beautiful progression. So
Yeah.
we've gone from standing awkwardly in a bathroom to basically healing the planet.
It's quite a trajectory, but the logic holds up if you accept the premise that everything starts inside.
But it all comes back to that one core action,
The mirror.
the mirror.
Yeah. And just the willingness to look, the willingness to stop terrorizing yourself and start supporting yourself.
As we wrap up, I want to remind you of that really practical tip from the author. Carry a mirror, a small one.
And when you look at it during the day, maybe you're stressed or stuck in traffic, just pull it out. Remind the person looking back that they're worth loving, not because of what they did, but just because they exist.
Remember the warning. You will have days where you want to criticize yourself. That old voice will come rushing back.
But now you have a new piece of data. You know that criticism never changes anything. It never has, and it never will.
Which brings us to our final thought for you to take with you. The text is so clear. Criticism breaks down the spirit. Praise builds it up. So here's the question. What is one thing, just one, that you are currently criticizing yourself for?
Could be your weight, your productivity, how you are as a parent, your bank account.
Whatever it is, what would happen if, just for today, you stopped criticizing it and instead you tried to praise yourself for how you're handling it, just to see what happens?
It might just change everything.
Thanks for diving deep with us,
I love you.
and we'll see you next time.